Hi, Sandra Jackson, 386 Southwest 35th Avenue. Mayor, I'm glad you're having this Meet the Mayor. I'm just going to bring some issues. I'm concerned. My understanding, part of this Meet the Mayor, none of the managers and commissioners were supposed to not be here. And I think some of the employees would like to come up and talk because they're not coming up because some of the managers are here. Because I see the director of Human Resources here. Okay. My concern is the public records. Okay. When public records are requested, it depends on who it is. I guess they will email some of the information to you. It depends on what you're asking for and they may want you to pay. And the records are not, the information is not being given to whoever requested in a timely basis. So I'm really concerned about that. I know a lot of stuff is going on in the city and I hope you just continue to investigate because I'm concerned because some of the people that we have brought in, the new people in management, you had employees that got laid off, that lost hours, and when it was recalled, some of them didn't even get the hours back, where I knew some had over 400 and some hours. And that's not fair where you bringing management in here that get so many hours up front and probably less than a year, possibly even getting raises. And I'm not sure if the people is aware in here. We have a city manager in here that's making, well at one point was $160-some thousand, where it was reduced 5%. Plus this our money, it's our taxpayer money that we're paying. We have assistant to assistants and you're cutting money, we're paying utility tax. And supposedly the money for utility tax was supposed to help the city. We're still in a hole. And I'm really concerned because this is my money I'm spending. They're taking money from the employees. So I'm asking you guys to really take a good look when time for the budget to see where this money is being allocated. Look at some of the people we're hiring because even some of the job positions that's been posted, they post them, they pull them back down. And I really feel like even the hiring process may have not been even done right. People that may be qualified for positions are not having a chance to be interviewed for the positions. And I'm really concerned, another thing I want to just bring up, and it's the last thing, we have temp employees that's inside the city working, okay, have access that's in HR to the personal records of our employees. And I don't think that's right, due to a lot of fraud that's going on, so something needs to be done about that. Thank you.
Thank you. Did you want to speak or did you want the child to speak?
No, we got other things to do. How's the pay there?
No. Fred. No, not until everybody else has spoken that wants to speak. Who else wants to talk? Okay.
How y'all doing?
You want to put that in there? Okay, and let's have your name and address for the record.
How y'all doing this evening? My name is James Jackson. I live at 4317 Northwest 6th Avenue. I'm one of
Pull that mic up, you're a tall one.
I'm one of the employees that used to work with Andrew, and right now we only have 2 people that does the whole city. I'm talking about east, west, north, south. Just me and Gerald. We do the whole city.
What are you doing to the whole city?
We are stormwater.
Oh.
We do the whole city. So like, if you get a drain that stops up, somebody else got a drain stops up, and so that's why it takes so long, because we're the only one that goes around and stop the drains and stuff, or stop the clearing and stuff like that.
I know, because I've had a couple of people that have complained, and you guys went right out and did the work.
Right.
And it was great.
A lot of, we try to work with the residents and stuff, and all we ask that some of the residents, please don't put your trash on top of the drains. That helps your community out, that helps us out, to do the job faster and everything. And and by all the employees, I used to work for ground maintenance too, so you name it.
How many people were in that department at one time?
Well, it
And
was.
there's only 2 of you now. How many were there
Right,
before?
it was 3 of us when I started, and plus Andrew as the supervisor and
So
stuff.
there were actually 4 people.
Right, and
Actually,
do we,
7.
yeah, it used to be 7?
Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be 7. And I just started working there the past 4 years, working with the stormwater. And, the stuff that we run into, like today we had, found a manhole cover that was covered up from the road, covering the road and stuff, we just found that today. There's a lot of problems that we have to deal with every day, but we don't have no stormwater fee to fix the problem. We got to get the money from, street department. That's where we get our money from. But we have a stormwater fee. We'll try to get everybody drains, unclogged and the problem solved and everything like that.
That's the problem. We don't have enough people doing the jobs that the citizens want done. We have a lot of people sitting upstairs collecting big salaries while we don't have the people that we need to do the jobs for the residents. I know because I've had people call me about flooding because the drains are plugged up and then I've gotta send you guys out.
Right.
How many drains can you unplug?
Right, we got to move here and there and we got to get another department to come help us solve the problems. Cause, rather than, last time we had the big rain, I had a resident come out and he stood in front of my truck and he would not move because the water was going into his house and I had to tell him, I have to go block the street and come back and solve the problem, but he didn't want to hear it. I mean, I'm like, I was about to body slam him, but I said, that's not the way to go, but I had to let him know, he have to understand that I'm a professional, I know what I'm doing. I have to do something to clear the
And tell
street.
me something now, the barriers are up at Kingfisher Canal.
Right.
Who's picking up the?
We are.
That's what I thought.
Yes, we are. We're in the process now of trying to get a boat and stuff like that. But see, you don't understand that the trash that goes into all these canals don't have nothing to do with the drainage. It comes from Boca and Pompano, from the big canals and stuff. That's where all the trash come from. We see it every day coming from Boca, floating down. I'm talking about Pampers, turtles, whatever, dead fish, whatever, it comes in there, goes over to the cove, and whatever it can get into, that's where it get into. When the tide go back out, it goes out with it, but we try to solve the problem and everything. And like, I'm gonna jump from that and go to this area. When I started at Deerfield in '99, they made me sign a paper, a document saying, what can you do for the city, and what can the city do for you? You know what I'm saying? And all I put on there, I want to grow with the city, and I want the city to stand beside me and grow with me too, and my family. And I believe that. Just like that, you say, I didn't grow up here, I grew up in Delray, but my son and my grandson, they grew up here. My son played football at Deerfield High, and I love this city, but there's a lot of wrong. A lot of people that comes in here, the supervisors, they talk to you and tell you something that they supposed to be knowing. Know where they get it from? The employees. We show them how to do this. We show them what canals need to be cleaned, the way the manhole, how the pipes run, what grass need to be cut, and stuff like that. Just look at, take one of your supervisors out, give them a lawnmower, or let them clean one of these drains and see what they do. They don't know jack. Believe me. Like you said a couple of weeks ago, we run this city.
That's right.
And we don't drunk drive, working or nothing like that. We work, because our family live here. I get mad when people come from Boca and see all the beautiful things in Boca, then they come over here and talk about my city. I'm like, I'm a football player, and I'm like, don't talk about my team. You know what I'm saying? And the employees, you got some good ones, and you got a lot of, people that love the good ones that know what they're doing. How I'm gonna cut a tree, and I don't trust this guy that's cutting the tree. I trust him because he's a professional. I won't give a supervisor the saw to cut no tree. You know what I'm saying? You got to give us the time and the trust to let us do our job and quit trying to, threaten us that you're gonna take this away from us and our family and stuff. Don't do that. That make us like, I'm only gonna do what I get paid for. You know, you pay me this little bit of money, you get this little bit of time. You know, but, you know, let my family go out there and buy stuff, you know, and be happy and be great for the city and stuff like that. And this stuff about taking the guys that pick up aluminum and stuff like that, these residents love them people because they take something put out in their yard, they don't have to look at it for 2 or 3 days, it's gone in the next 5 seconds. You know what I'm saying? So when I was young, we used to pick up balls and sell them. That's how we made our money. You know, we ain't go out and rob nobody. If these guys can't pick up this stuff, then we're gonna have problems. Because they got to feed their family.
Well, you know, I thought that the other night when it was suggested we should get permits for the people who go around picking up stuff.
No.
I thought to myself, what are we gonna do next?
Yeah.
Issue permits for how many times you can breathe?
And these
I
people-
mean, you know, it's a little bit nuts because
It's like,
if the people go around and pick up the stuff, that means that the city doesn't have to pay Bergeron to take it and put it in the trash, okay? So actually, we're saving money because these guys are going around picking up this stuff. And how many of you sitting there have put like a chair out that you really didn't want, right, or a sofa that couldn't be picked up, and as he said, 5 seconds after you put it out, it was gone, okay?
and one more issue before I leave,
Yes.
that issue last night about the park.
Oh, West Side.
I wasn't there or nothing like that, but what really got my damn nerve, I don't really have that much help, but about the dog. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wanted to bring the issue up about the dog.
The dog's drinking out of the fountain.
You know, I love animals. Everybody know I love animals and stuff like that, but I'm not gonna let my dog drink out no public fountain. That's disgusting. And for him to be a police officer and do something like that, I can't trust him to watch my kid in no park. He gonna let that dog bite my kid. You know, it's ridiculous, you know? It's like, quit trying to bring back the 50s.
Oh, no.
You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. We're in 2013. Let's live together. You know? That's all I got to say, you know? And you're doing a very good job.
Your name and address for the record, please.
James Benefield, you ditto it, 533 Northwest 3rd Way, Deerfield Beach, Florida.
Okay.
Unlike a lot of the people here, they came down and this year, that, I was born here. 837 South Dixie Highway in a shotgun house. Open the front door, look through the back door. Yeah, I was born here.
I believe you.
And I have seen a lot of stuff that goes on in Deerfield that shouldn't. I remember 3rd Avenue was a sand street, nothing but sand. Used to walk the Braceway down the 11th Street down the Braceway every morning. You think the city would grow and live, but they won't. As far as the deficit in our budget and whatnot, it all comes from one thing: greed. Greed and good old boy syndrome. I'm gonna bring my buddy in from Chattahoochee, Tennessee, or somewhere else because he can make some money down here. And he's gonna agree with me because I'm bringing him down. I don't know what his qualifications are, and nobody's gonna check his resume against what he put on there. It's a good old boy syndrome, believe it or not. Now, I worked for a company for 31 years, and as a union steward for the Teamsters for 18 years. About this, all these systems and that, we had a lot of them. Now, you guys don't deal with no money. The Teamsters, we dealt with money. We dealt with money. But we still had people to watch the people who were dealing the money. You know? And if they didn't like you, and you spent a little bit of money, they would itemize everything you did and have you pay it back. If you gave too much of a tip, or drank out the courtesy bar in the room, you had to pay for that, and they knew it. But there's so many people here, they come to a little small place like this, and they say, well, I'm gonna make a killing. They don't care about the workers. They don't care about the workers. We had a motto when I was working for UPS there, as a driver and a part-time supervisor. Our motto was, good day's work for a good day's pay. And when I was a little part-time supervisor, I would not require any of my men to do anything that I couldn't do. I mean it. If I tell you to load 5 trucks in 2 hours, you can pretty well believe I can load 5 trucks in 2 hours. But right now, and I have to apologize for last night because that got under my head. I saw my daughter being treated the way that young lady was treated for a job. And just like I said a minute, if everybody had to go through that to get or maintain a job in the city of Deerfield, we wouldn't have the problem because there wouldn't have nobody working. And especially when the work didn't pertain to what she was hired for. If she's hired for a cook and you got her lifting 25, 50, and 100-pound bags of cement or running, that's nothing to do with cooking. And whoever made that up, I don't know who did it, and don't care. You know, it's just like a cabbage. What you get, that's what you got to bring. Now, whoever did it, he should be able to do the same. He or she or them should be able to do the same thing. If they can't do it, let them go down the street. You're top heavy here. You got too many people with a little bit of money. Assistant to the assistant. You don't need that. If you got an assistant to the assistant, what is the main man doing? If you got a janitor changing light bulbs, you got one man holding the ladder, one man on the ladder, and another man giving him the light bulb.
What you say?
It might seem funny, but this is where your money going.
That's right.
I don't know how long I'll live, but I'll be damned if I will let people just throw my money away. I had to bring my grandchild here the other day because he said he wants to be a lawyer. I said, I want to show you what politics is about. How your grandpa spend money. You know, and it's bad. We don't look out for nobody but ourselves. And all these people who transplant, I don't have anything against people who came down here. You yourself came down. But
1958.
yeah, I was digging in. And I picked some of the beans that you were talking about.
Right. I remember Sylvia Potier told me she picked tomatoes.
I picked beans, tomato, okra, and everything. And enjoyed it. Another thing about the people picking up trash. Now you might say, but I jumped a little bit. I tear down, I mess around, mess with my car. If I got a fender there I want to sell, or somebody give me an old motor, I would take it down and sell it. Now, that remark they made the other night about the guys on welfare or this and that, that's none of their damn business. Now, if the guys weren't making this money to subsidize what they don't get from the federal government or whatever, they wouldn't make it. Then one night you look up, you got somebody breaking in your house. Oh, well, they shouldn't do that. But if you let them make an honest living, and that is an honest living. I've sold cans.
Just make sure when it comes up for a hearing that you're here.
Oh, like Michael Jackson said, I'll be here.
Enough. Okay.
We're here representing the Deerfield Beach Little League. My name is Lynn White and I live at 1101 Southeast 12th Terrace.
Kathleen Williams, 104 Southeast 3rd Court.
Having had 2 boys of my own that went through the whole thing, I know how valuable it is, really.
And we each have 2 boys going through now.
And I wanted you to know that I got the award for being the most vociferous mother in the stands. Go ahead.
The city's been very helpful with, we know that all the youth groups where their money was all cut about 5 years ago. So it wasn't just Little League or the Rattlers, it was all the nonprofits, and we have tried to work within it. Lynn was our sponsor coordinator this year, and we had a lot of people who really stepped up to help us with that. What we need is the city's help to move into the future with the ball program.
You didn't really mean this seriously, did you, that you thought we should spend, let me see what it was, cause I almost fell out of the chair, $300,000.
Well, I have an answer for that. When Westside Park first was given their funding, I called Community and Redevelopment and asked them if we could get Pioneer Park looked at. Their answer was they didn't know Pioneer Park at all. They'd never been told the words Pioneer Park, didn't even know where it existed. But that this year, we could possibly get it put on the docket because it would have to be in the same demographic area. And I would think if it's within a mile of Westside Park, it would be the same demographic area, wouldn't it?
Well, are we talking about the Community Redevelopment Association, because that's not in their boundary? Pioneer Park is not in the, she's talking about another different
No, they said it
organization
was
with the
community.
same numbers, that's
What they told me was that HUD gives the money to community
Yeah.
redevelopment. The city of Deerfield speaks to them about where we need it.
And you know, it's funny because years ago, and those of you that are here that have been here a while know that in the beginning, that's all there was, Pioneer Park. That's where we played baseball, that's where we did everything. And now Pioneer Park looks like a war zone.
Well, it can be better. We took the lights down that were perfectly operational lights. And as soon as we took them down, they didn't meet code to go back up, so they went in the trash. So now it's $300,000 to put lights there. What they just spent to build the park over at Westside is $770,000. And I'd like to see, I read an article in the paper last week that said they're building a regular Little League sized field at Westside Park.
Only because what they did originally was so small, it would never have been able to be used for any of the tournaments or anything, because it was not a regulation baseball. Why they would have spent that money and then had some idiot,
It still can't. If you build a 46, 60 foot baseball field, which we have 3 of, 3 blocks away, you won't be able to put anybody 12 and older on it.
well, that's what they said.
That's the truth. We have the Pioneer Park that is 1 50-foot, 70-foot bases, and we have 1 60-foot, 90-foot base over at the regular middle school. That's what we need. Another 4660 doesn't make sense in the city if we already have 3. So is,
What we need to talk about though is the financing for your players for the year. What is it you need? Now, right now you're talking about structures. I wanna talk to you about what does it take to make the Little League run for you guys? I know that they all have to have some kind of, what are they calling that, they have to have a criminal
the
background.
level 2 background check.
And that's expensive, that I know, okay, the one you're doing. Now, do you pay for that or does the city?
We've been splitting it over the last 2 years. The city's been splitting the cost with us. We have about 60, there's 20 teams with 3 coaches, so about 60 to 70 people that we background check every year.
And what does that cost?
Even though the ordinance says it's every 3 years they're good for, we still have to have it done every year by city ordinance.
And what does it cost?
I think it's $35 a person,
Okay.
and we can only use one vendor that the city has approved. Their vendor only.
To do all of the background.
It's the only one that does it for the city altogether, where I even asked why we didn't buy one of the machines ourselves as a city and save the cost and do it all here.
Well, it would seem to me if the city's making you use their vendor, then the city ought to pay for it.
Not only that, Mayor, but many of the volunteers within our league, you'll see coaching soccer for the city, you'll see coaching flag football for the city. So it's not solely the benefit of the Little League, it's the well-being of the children in our community.
Of all the coaches, in other words, who go out to the
Exactly
many,
correct.
and you know, it's marvelous that these people volunteer.
Absolutely.
And we certainly shouldn't be making it harder, or financially burdensome.
Right,
for
we
anybody.
want the coaches to be checked thoroughly, safe for our children is the utmost concern. But the truth of the matter is that these people are benefiting not just the Little League, the entire city, because they have children, they're everywhere, they're not just Little League players.
Okay, all right, what else do you want?
We want it all, Jean.
That's what I was afraid you were going to
We
say.
could use some help with the facility
Yeah.
at the middle school.
We have a severe grading problem there, that when it rains, we go underwater. And they'll close the fields, and so be it, the gentlemen who go up there and really work hard to keep them up, work a day shift, so they're done by 2:30. What time does it rain in Deerfield Beach?
In the afternoon.
Every afternoon. So I understand that they would hate to go through all that every day and watch it get washed out every evening, but it does happen. The month of May is horrendous for us every year. Better this year than last year. We had 18 rainouts and some really angry people. Like we made.
Gee, the one you're not asking for a dome.
Right, we could have a dome, but that would be good. But there are some things that the city needs to get to move into the future. The sunshades, with the amount of skin cancer that goes on down here, every brand new park that's built out west, and I hope they have them at West Side, is built with the sunshades right above the stands, and they go for about $10,000 per stand.
And how many do you need?
We have 8.
You have 8 or do you need 8?
We need 8. We have 8
0.
stands.
We have 8 stands.
Soft toss stations, just right now, we spend most of our evenings telling the coaches not to hit the balls against the fence and ruin the fences. We even have signs, but it doesn't really stop the problem. They make soft toss stations that would probably cost about $3,000 and do the whole park to be able to do that.
Well, you have some problems, I'll say that.
Yeah. I outlined them in there for you.
And we're not asking for the world, we're actually asking to be up to par with the other cities within our district.
Well, the only thing that I feel about that is there's nobody or no people that are more important to us than the children that are in our city. You know, in fact, I just got an email today from somebody about the condition of the middle and the senior high and the bullying and the fact that we've been on national TV and the middle school has for incidents that have happened there. And that it's, people are moving out of the city in order to not go to those schools and things, you know?
I can tell you that my boys are at camp at the middle school right now, and I am horrified at the graffiti in the locker rooms. These are things that my kids have never seen before, and I am horrified. And I understand they paint them, they clean them, it's back the next day, but it's a sad sign. It's a sad sign.
Well, whoever sent me the email, and I really just got it before I came over here, is meeting with the superintendent of schools to upgrade the middle school. I didn't realize it, I hate to say this because my kids didn't go to the public schools, but my kids went to Cardinal Gibbons. And so I'm not aware, well, that was so long ago,
The
believe
media
me.
gives us a bad name. I had 2 girls already graduate Deerfield High and a freshman there now, and one that'll be there through class of 2020. It's a good school. Deerfield has a very good school.
Well, I think it does, except for the fact that they say they have a problem with bullying.
I think all schools have a problem with bullying.
That's terrible, really.
We have one present for you and then we're done. Thank you.
What else have you got for me?
Where's your shirt? This was our motto this year. I thought you would like it, so.
Somebody just gave me a wonderful poster with Peyton Manning's picture on it, which I'm hanging up in my room.
There's no place like home.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And our yearbook.
Okay.
That's in our budget. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. And believe me, when football season starts, you go to the second floor, you will see my door, and it'll say, "Play like a champion today." And that comes from Notre Dame. Okay, yes.
Hi.